Hello kind people, this is Dmitry and welcome to my weekly listener recap. We're going to talk about this puzzle called Way to Go. It's by Vismut. And before we start with the puzzle itself, a few comments about the puzzle name and the setter. I really enjoy Vismut puzzles, and Vismut is one of listener female setters, and they are, I believe, still underrepresented, and I hope that eventually this is going to change. Now, as for the title, Way to Go, it is not the first puzzle I solved with this title. A few years back, in the Magpie, there was an absolutely monstrous E-grader by a setter called Extent, which is a collaboration between External and Serpent, and that one was one of the hardest Magpies that I have ever solved. Absolutely brutal. Now, I think this one is actually quite hard as well. I mean, definitely not on that level, but I think as probably harder than other Vismut puzzles that I solved. But yeah, the title here plays a different role, I guess. We'll come back to that. There's a lot of thematic stuff here, so this might be a longer video, but we'll see. Okay, so let's read the preamble. In 7 clues, the wordplay omits part of the answer that a single symbol could represent. In 6 other clues entries, the symbol must replace a thematic item in the answer. 7 down clues need a word removed to enable solving. The words first and last letters respectively give 2 words from a quotation, the first missing the symbol. Highlight the quotation author 4 cells and depict his end by joining the symbols in row order with 5 straight lines, and join 2 more through 7 cells. Number in brackets are the length of grid entries. The chambers is the primary reference, but confirms only half of the thematic items. Where do we start here? So first of all, let's understand how many types of clues we have. So we have some normal clues. We have some clues where a word needs to be removed, and those are down clues. And then we have 13 other clues where something else happens. From the solving point of view, 6 of them are normal, but the enumeration is wrong. Those are the ones where the symbol must replace a thematic item in the answers, so you solve them as normal clues, but then you replace part of the answer with a symbol. And so the enumeration, so numbers in brackets are the length of grid entries, so for these clues those are wrong. But otherwise they're normal. But for 7 other clues, the wordplay omits part of the answer that a single symbol could represent. So this is actually a rather hard set of clues, because there are 4 different types of them, and you don't know which one is which. The only thing you do know is that those ones with extra words are the down entries, so they can't be among the cross set. But all the others could be in both the crosses and downs. I really enjoyed these clues, by the way, so let me maybe showcase some of them. I guess I'll start by just trying to remember which ones were among the first ones. I guess this was the very first one, because quite a lot of them were rather simple, which is good given the diversity in the types of clues. Leaders in every new age come to play, so this is just the first letters of every new age come to. That gives you enact. So that was, I think, the very first one I solved. I'm trying to also maybe get to some other types of clues. So maybe this was the first thematic clue that I got. I can't remember which letters I had when I solved it, but at some point I realized that the answer was abyss. And so far is S, and south is another. So far is AS, S, and south is the letter S. And so the wordplay omits by. And indeed, by could be replaced with one symbol, as we know. By could be, x by, or 5 by 6, 5 times 6, 5, and this is how you represent it. So, and now because the preamble states the symbol everywhere, my suspicion was that, yeah, this was the symbol. And indeed, that was correct. Let us maybe get to the message, and then I'll show some more clues, and then we'll get to the end game. So the missed words, and here I get almost all of them, are so from this set, so write climate set without using temperature or energy. So maybe I should just show how that works. So you get the word climate and you set it, so you anagram it without using temperature for T or energy for E, and you get claim being right. Yeah, that is, and so thermostat is an extra word, and so it gives you T as the first letter and T as the last letter. And let me try to remember what was the one. Okay, yeah, so the other extra word was automatically, and so that give you A and Y. And so as you can see, one set gives you the word tyranny, and the other gives you Tay-ation. And as we know that the first one is missing the symbol. And so now, because everything is as this symbol, and we suspect it is the same symbol, we can try to introduce this X here, and that would give us taxation. And so taxation and tyranny are the two words from the quotation. So we'll get back to the quotation and the end game. But first, let's have a look at the only type of clues that we haven't really looked at yet properly. And that is those were very hard to solve, where the part of the answer has to be replaced by a symbol for entry. And the symbol, as we now suspect, is X. And that is actually the only part of the puzzle which I still do not quite understand. I mean, I have the fact that it is the same symbol it is included in gets you to taxation, and we'll see from the quotation once we get to it why that makes sense. Really suggests that we should replace all those things with little diagonal crosses. But the thematic reasoning for that still a little bit escapes me. So, but let's have a look at some of those clues. How about, yeah, maybe this one. 8 legs for this provincial side broken, separate cases dislocated. So you get that from the anagram of provincial side, so you get it broken, but you dislocate, so you remove cases being CA, and they're separate because those CA are not together in the word provincial. So you remove this C and this A, and you anagram the rest, and what you get is violin spider. So violin spider has 8 legs, and so this is, and from the crossing letters you would realize that the only way it fits is if you put violin here and spider in the unchecked cell. In fact, like all those other things that are going to be replaced by the symbol, they all happen to occur in the unchecked cell. Maybe I'll have a look at just yet one more. She's welcoming neat supply job contracted in latest refuges. So here the last two words is the definition. She is she's, and then it welcomes neat anagrammed, so taken subtly, and then chore is the job, and it gets contracted, and so you get this. So this is very hard clue, especially since you don't really know how many letters you're looking for, and it's not 8. But this is what happens, and so anchor is again like just goes in the grid as it is, and then sheet is here. So we have sheet, bead, ball, forked, ribbon, and spider. And it's not yet clear what this is all about. Maybe one other... Yeah, so maybe I want also to have a look at some of those clues with of this type, where we have wordplay omitting parts that could be represented by a symbol. In particular, well, the fact that this cross can mean so many different things. It could mean 10, and this is what happens, I believe, in the clue for Luton, or stenographer. I can't remember. I think for both. But also it could mean, as in by here, it could mean times, 5 times 6. And so this 7 across, race winners have the shortest ones, just has no wordplay whatsoever, because, yeah, the answer is times, and also race winners have the shortest ones. And the wordplay just omits the whole answer, because the whole answer could be represented with X, and so on. So now let's get to the end game. So what is this taxation and tyranny? So a little bit of Googling shows that an American chap called, oh gosh, and I now need to check what was his first surname, because I already forgot. Jordan? Was it Jordan? James Otis. So James Otis, the American sort of who lived around the time of American Revolution. So in about 1760s, he wrote in his pamphlet, I can't remember whether it was the exact phrase but something along the lines of that: taxation without representation is tyranny. And so the idea was that, the American colonies, they were taxed but didn't have any voice in the British Parliament, and so that caused serious unhappiness, and eventually was part of what led to the Independence War and formation of the United States. But I realized that, the way this two words were presented actually now make a lot of sense, because Taation, taation, is actually taxation without X, X being our representation, our symbol, that the symbol of this puzzle. And so that sort of confirms yet again that this is the symbol that we need the only one that we need in this puzzle, and the one which we need to use to replace all those strange words like sheet and ball and spider and forked. But we still don't know yet what this is all about. But we need to highlight the quotation authors and depict his end. And if you look at Wikipedia, or if you like, we can. So the quotation author is found here in the grid, and we need to connect. So now if we replace all these things with X, and also note that there is no more X's in the grid, which I guess is a good sign. And now if we row by row connect them with 5 lines, we get something like this, which looks a lot like a lightning bolt. And indeed, all those words could be types of lightning: sheet lightning, ball lightning, forked lightning, spider lightning, and so on. And so the only other thing we need to do is to draw 2 more lines through 7 cells. And Wikipedia kindly tells us that he was actually hiding from the lightning. He was watching the thunderstorm from, as he, I guess, thought, the safety of his friend's doorway. And so we can see here that we have the 7 cells from which we can draw 2 lines and depict his friend's doorway, which didn't really save him. So I believe, yeah, this is what we have to submit. There are some very hard clues here, and there was one which I think I still haven't properly parsed, and that is 17 down. Potential soldiers going for a dip. I believe the answer is toast, because soldier could be a toast. I don't know why soldiers, why the plural, but I think it's just a cryptic definition that, you know, it's bread going for a dip, so that, but this is a little bit strange, so I wouldn't actually be surprised if this is incorrect. So I haven't really submitted my entry yet, and I will probably spend a few more days looking at that and see whether any other letter might make sense here. But for the time being, I think it's just too much of a coincidence that soldiers could mean toast. So I will go for that unless I can come up with something better. But yeah, and if I do come with something better, I will let you know in the comments. I really enjoyed this puzzle, and especially this fact that you get to taxation by having like taxation without representation. So the whole quotation now becomes complete. You don't really need that to solve the puzzle, but I think it's a very nice touch. So thanks a lot, Vismut, another great listener, and not a person that I knew anything about. I mean, my knowledge of American Revolutionary history is not great, and yeah, was good to learn something. Thanks a lot, and let's see what the next week is going to bring. Bye.